Hey everybody, what's going on? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Had a fun show with Brandon of the Hawk's Nest earlier today. If you did not watch it live, go check out the VOD. It's up on both of our channels. A little bit of a shorter show than usual because there isn't quite as much going on as there typically would be when the season actually starts. So it's like an hour and 10 minutes. So give that a listen and a watch if you haven't already. But we got a little bit of Seahawks news right at the end of the show, actually. So I want to talk about this real quick because I know that it kind of seems like this story is settled, but technically it's not settled yet. And until it's completely settled, we may as well keep talking about it because it's a big deal. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So, according to some reports, Mark Maskey, I don't know how you pronounce that, a front office sports reporter, the sale of the Seahawks is moving along. Of course, the Khosla family are the primary buyers. There are other buyers involved in the purchase, but the NFL's finance committee and the ownership policy committee have both apparently approved the sale, and they have recommended that the owners approve it as well. So my understanding is that this isn't like an official thing. This isn't necessarily something where they did it, therefore it's going to happen. But my understanding is that these committees basically act as a recommendation body towards the owners. And the fact that they approved this makes it even more likely that the owners vote to approve it. Now, according to this, and based on my understanding as well, next week on the 26th, the owners are going to get together to vote on whether or not the Khoslas should be approved to purchase the team. And I believe they need 24 yes votes. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but it is widely expected that whatever they need, they're going to get. I think it's 24 because that's what it takes to change an NFL rule. And I'm pretty sure that is also the case for ownership, but might be a little bit more. Regardless, sure seems like there's nothing getting in the way of this. So whatever the committees needed to see from the Khoslas in order to sign off on this, it looks like they have seen it. So basically, number one, and I know that some people are a little bit disappointed that some other parties didn't get involved here. It looks like this is going to happen. It looks like this is a done deal. Looks like there's nothing that's going to get in the way of the Khosla family from making this purchase. And we should have our new owners very, very soon. Mark Mask himself actually had this tweet as well, where he outlined the timeline. The purchase is expected to officially close sometime in September. So that's a little bit later than maybe you would have preferred, because if the purchase is being finalized, or excuse me, not finalized, but voted on August 26th, and assuming they get the yes vote, you would hope that they would be able to jump right on that and therefore have this completely closed out by the start of the season. That's a little bit more dicey because the Seahawks play their first game earlier than anybody else, early in September. So we'll see if they're able to actually close this one out before we get to the first game. I think it would be really cool if they were able to, because then that first game could also be a welcoming of the new ownership group in on top of celebrating last year's Super Bowl title. But based on this, it seems a little unlikely. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer, best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today and remember to always gamble responsibly. Now, there is another way to look at this, I suppose, because the first game is September 9th. So, relatively early in the month, decent chance that the sale is not closed by that point. If it is the case that the sale is not closed by the time we get to the 9th, then maybe you can look at that game as kind of a farewell to Jody Allen and Vulcan, kind of like this final commemoration of all the work they've done owning this team, and obviously the great work they did, culminating it all in a Super Bowl title last season. So that's another way to kind of look at it. Maybe the first game of the year isn't going to be a celebration of the new owners. It'll be a celebration of the outgoing owners that obviously did really well. So if you want to look at it along that line, then I think that you've got a little bit of a case for maybe it's better if they don't finish until mid-September. Because then we don't play at home again until October 4th. So our next two games are road games, and then we play the Chargers on, I believe, October 4th at home. So then that game kind of becomes the welcome new owners game where you celebrate having the new ownership group in place officially on ice. Everything's taken care of. Everything is in the books. That might be a better way to look at things. So either way, I think this works out. Because even if the Khoslas are able to finish this out before the 9th, then you can look at the Super Bowl as kind of the farewell to the Vulcan group and Jody Allen. And that's a great way to have bid farewell to an ownership group, right? Winning the Super Bowl in your rival's stadium. That's pretty good. So that's really all I got right now on this one. I understand that this story feels like it's already done because there's been no indication there's any possibility that this sale is not going to go through. And I think pretty much everybody has accepted that this is going to be the new group. And not everybody loves that. I understand that there are people out there who would have preferred other people get involved or somebody a little bit more local. But I want to reiterate that I think that we're getting a good setup here. I think that there's a lot to like about this ownership group. I think there's a lot to be enthused about, and I think there's a lot to be encouraged by. And ultimately, we're not going to really know how they're going to do until they actually start doing it. This isn't like scouting a player in college, and you use how they played in college to understand how they're going to play in the pros. There's no college for an owner, right? You just got to see what they do when they get in there. All right. Going to be at least one more video later today. I don't know if the team is doing anything today. I think tomorrow is going to be the joint practice, so today might be chill, but I will do at least one more video. And see you guys then. Go Hawks. Everyone have a good rest of your day, and more stuff coming.